American political polarization operates as a specific business model. The anger you see online is a manufactured product, built by a global industry designed to keep you agitated. Domestic influencers, partisan networks, and traditional media figures have learned that outrage pays. They build entire careers by feeding you cartoonish versions of the other side's arguments, monetizing your frustration with every click and view. Regimes in Russia, China, and Iran benefit when the United States lacks a unified national will. By seeding narratives that keep Americans fighting each other, they create a strategic opening to act internationally without fearing a coordinated American response. All this engineering creates what researchers call a collective illusion. We are fed extreme, uncompromising viewpoints so consistently that we falsely assume these fringe voices represent the vast majority of our neighbors. Because division is so well-funded, the exhausted, silent majority of Americans are left staring at a false choice. We are told to either join the screaming match or disengage entirely from our own democracy. A grassroots movement called the Common Thread is attempting to offer a third option. They are proposing a different approach to political discourse, one built around practical problem-solving rather than tribalism. Their visual identity centers on a broken, deep blue circle, representing our current national divides, but a vibrant red thread weaves directly through the gap, symbolizing the intentional, active work required to find common ground. What makes this movement highly unusual is its refusal to accept any financial donations. By explicitly rejecting money and allowing supporters to remain in their chosen political parties, they strip away the usual motives of a political startup. This $0 structure forces anyone watching to look closely at what they're actually trying to achieve. The movement operates on specific rules of engagement, starting with posture over platform. They do not dictate which policies you fight for. They only care how you fight for them. Their second rule is curiosity before judgment. Supporters are required to practice active listening, adopting a "tell me about your way" mindset to actually understand an opposing view before forming a conclusion. Next is truth over tribe. This demands a direct rejection of group loyalty the exact moment it conflicts with verifiable facts, logic, and our shared reality. Adopting these rules does not require you to compromise on your core moral values. You are encouraged to be a proud Republican or a proud Democrat, championing conservative or liberal ideals passionately. These rules anchor political debate in a reality where facts lead the way. They ensure the fight stays centered on actual data, rather than the fictionalized versions of opponents generated by social media algorithms. Instead of functioning as a top-down organization, Common Thread operates as a decentralized hub, pointing citizens toward a specific toolkit of depolarization resources. They highlight organizations like Braver Angels, which provides highly structured environments and local chapters where Americans physically practice healthy dialogue with ideological opponents. They rely on tools like Ground News, an aggregator that exposes media bias, allowing supporters to actively break out of their daily echo chambers. And they recommend a defensive backbone of literature from authors like Renee DiResta and Daniel Levitin to help citizens identify weaponized lies, pseudo-expertise, and digital propaganda. To prevent anyone from buying influence over the movement's direction, the founders cover the costs of digital infrastructure out of pocket. This $0 model extends to physical merchandise. Everything is sold at the raw cost of manufacturing and shipping, generating a zero profit margin. Operating as a decentralized $0 model creates a built-in immune system. It protects the movement from being hijacked by the exact kind of bad actors who normally profit from political influence. The founders freely admit a cynical reality. Because there is no fame, money, or tangible power in promoting critical thinking, this initiative might simply die from a lack of interest. But if the movement does gain momentum, it will face a severe backlash. Coordinated disinformation campaigns and personal attacks will inevitably come from the very groups who benefit from keeping the country divided. The movement's recommended countermeasure is straightforward. When you see divisive information online, you must ask yourself, who is creating this, and how do they benefit financially or politically from getting me to believe it? The organizations and media figures who profit from a reactive, divided public stand the most to lose. Their business model collapses if citizens refuse to be steered by manufactured outrage. The name of the movement draws on the mechanics of a woven tapestry. In a strong blanket, the individual colors and patterns do not blend into a muted, compromised gray. They remain vibrant and distinct. A healthy democracy requires this exact kind of sharp ideological contrast. We need different opinions and values competing openly in the public square. But those vibrant, competing contrasts can only survive if they are held together by a structural thread beneath the surface, a shared commitment to verifiable facts and respectful, rigorous dialogue. Participation requires 3 simple, free steps. Wear the symbol, use the hashtag on your profiles, and practice constructive disagreement daily. Fixing the national fabric depends on the silent majority stepping forward to prioritize results over tribalism. This movement offers a path towards stable discourse that avoids the high barrier of starting a new political party.